Hey guys! So this is our 11th recap episode for episode number 25 of Big Brother.
We're not calling it that anymore.
We're calling it Returning Players.
These are not all-stars.
Because we're not...
Those are not all-star plays, boo.
Okay, so we're going to make this really quick because the triple eviction was tonight.
It was a lot. Life has been a lot. So we're just going to...
We're going to just go through it. So, we knew Kevin was probably going to be evicted. It was a unanimous vote. Kevin and David gave really good speeches, I thought.
Actually, yeah. Kevin's leaving interview wasn't bad either.
No.
It was weird. He carried himself pretty well. So, after that happened, we were kind of hoping, you know, if David didn't win, he was going to probably go home. So, Memphis ended up winning HOH. It's third HOH. I believe he's the first person to win 3. Yeah.
Did Tyler win another HOH? This is his second.
1, 2.
After Janelle.
It's just his second.
So, Memphis won HOH, and, you know, he nominated Nicole and David. Nicole was a different pick than we thought would maybe go up. Maybe, like...
I thought an Enzo. Like, you want David to go home, you put up, like, an Enzo. I didn't think Nicole, but clearly... I don't know. In my mind now, after everything that's happened, I'm like...
Maybe, I guess. I could see it.
Maybe, but also, my thought is, did she kind of know?
I think she knew.
She knew the whole time.
She had to have talked with Christmas about it.
So it was like, I will volunteer myself. Whatever.
Anyways. So I think maybe she set herself up for the fact that now, we're jumping the ahead a little bit, but now Nicole being nominated during the triple means that she can use the fact that Cody and other people haven't been nominated to her advantage.
But she can also use the I survived the block twice because she's not win.
Because she knew she was going to be safe. She knew she was going to be safe, so I think she used this to her advantage.
Yeah, I think...
and if she didn't, like, it's still an advantage for her now. So, Memphis nominated Nicole and David.
I don't even have anything to say.
She's like, oh gosh, I don't know what to say. I'm
like...
like...
Oh, Danny, I'm crying. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. It's just so mean.
So...
Fuck off.
We can't...
I don't care.
Okay,
that girl deserves an F-bomb.
Okay, so
she's such a
no. Come on, we need to get through this. So Christmas won veto, and of course Christmas and Nicole are girls, so Christmas didn't use it.
They are only girls.
They're only girls because Christmas wants to use Nicole, and Nicole wants to use Christmas.
Yeah, it's whatever.
So Nicole and David were still up on the block.
Slytherin.
Christmas and Tyler voted to evict Nicole, and Enzo, Cody, and Danny voted to evict David. And that was a very close
I really
vote.
thought Enzo was gonna...
I could have... I don't know. Because Enzo wanted... This side wanted David in, which confuses me.
Yeah, so
like, why Tyler and Christmas voted Nicole.
I don't really know.
I think Cody couldn't because of Nicole.
I think maybe it was all set up too, though. Like, I think they put the votes there to, like, look good in jury knowing he was still gonna go. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't believe that... You can't fake the funk with me. These people are like, the whole thing's calculated. They already knew about a triple eviction before it happened. Then Julie tries to pretend she didn't know there was a sign behind her that the camera got to like, show them.
You know, the big wall of words behind her that says, you know, triple eviction. Or obviously Julie's back on the TV, so it's going to be for something. Like, I don't know. They just did this very poorly, in my opinion.
And then the house guests couldn't even act good. Like, Cody was like... Boy, you're dumb, but, like, you talked to the house, and the house had already figured it out. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh, my God, I'm so done with the fake and the phony. If you're going to be a reality show, you better make this shit better.
Like, I just didn't understand why they had to ruin the fact that triple eviction was going to be the one thing that people were looking forward to. Production dropped the ball so hard, making Dr. Will say that stupid hint instead of just letting them be surprised, because then they couldn't have planned it.
Yep.
Now,
this was calculated.
Seeing everything that happened, it was 100% planned.
Yeah, I mean, it still had to work out a certain way, but once it
when you have the numbers.
Execute the plan.
Not when you have the numbers.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
I just think it's really like, it's just like a sick joke. Like,
at this point,
you think it can't get worse.
It's stacked in their favor so much.
They do.
Like, I'm not surprised. It's just more disappointing.
I mean, if Cody doesn't win this whole thing, like, go under a rock, boo, because like. You can't...
It's getting handed to him.
Make this up.
Yes.
Like, better.
So, David went home.
Julie's already told him on accident, like, congratulations, you are the winner.
So, David went home. And then Julie tried to pull the fake, like, now it's a triple, and everyone was like, oh my god. So, one thing that I was bothered by, and I think you were too, is the fact that they reused the same HOH in Veto, which is unfair for the people who played the Veto before.
Hello. And it's just such a, like, pitiful attempt. Like, oh, we'll do triple eviction, but we're not going to come up with new competitions. We're just going to, like, peel off Dr. Will on the HOH, and then
we'll have them do the puzzle in the opposite direction and call it a different name.
And then we'll also make the background different of the puzzle. But the puzzle is still putting together
a Veto.
The Veto picture that's the same. So it's literally the same.
It's the same exact competition. So Tyler ended up winning. Tyler ended up winning HOH and Veto.
We were shocked.
He nominated Nicole and Danny, saying, "Oh, this is a really hard decision." Blah blah blah. Even though he wanted Danny out since he wanted to leave.
Yeah.
With that whole situation, which I'm glad Danny called out when she was evicted.
We'll talk about that later.
So Danny was still trusting Nicole, which we don't like, because she doesn't realize Nicole is playing her.
She is probably not gonna realize it. She probably won't even believe people in jury.
No.
I don't think she will realize it until Dom tells her and she watches everything.
Ian got played by Nicole. Davon got played by Nicole.
How are you?
Kevin and David got played by Nicole and Danny. How are they still letting this girl?
By Nicole?
She is such a bad liar. Like, looking at live feeds when she was lying to Davon about the vote, it was almost laughable.
About it was believable.
It was laughable how bad of a lie she was, like, trying to pull off.
It was like
and
Cody
Davon was just eating it up.
Knockoff Hallmark movie. Like, that's not acting.
Davon was eating it up, and then because of that, Kevin.
Is it the nostrils? Do they hypnotize? Like, it's just so mean. I don't understand.
The fact that they're getting played, and this is an all-star season, is just ridiculous.
By someone that's played twice.
And she's not even a good player.
And was never a good player. And is doing the same game all over again. What? And the same thing all over again to Davon. Davon went through this. She did the same thing.
I'm mad at Davon for even thinking that she can trust Nicole.
I just don't get why people want to be that nice to other people who do them wrong. Like,
I don't know.
For what? So you can get played twice and look even dumber?
This part. So Danny was unanimously evicted after she called out Tyler and Christmas's final two.
I mean, it wasn't going to do anything, but...
But, I mean, it
was still nice to see. It was like... I was like,
I expected it from her because she did the same thing from her 13
I expected
eviction.
Better.
But she called out Christmas lying about the power, so Christmas already...
Christmas like, what?
Christmas was already, like, a big target, and Danny putting that on top of her is just going to make it worse.
I mean, she won't win. She won't win if she's in Final 2. She wouldn't win if she was in Final 2 up against her Mercedes-Benz.
She wouldn't win. She wouldn't win if, like, they had to say, like, do we agree that Christmas should win if it was just her? They'd be like, no, I'd rather no one win.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, Christmas is just ridiculous. And then she tried to, fake hug Danny, even though she was like, I vote to evict Danny happily. And then she has to, like...
so cute.
She has to pretend to hug, and Danny was like, no. And then Christmas is like, okay,
like,
whatever.
That's what I thought. She's like, yeah, that is what it is, or whatever.
Yeah, Danny said something snarky, which I appreciated.
It was
very
nice.
on brand for her.
It was very on brand for Danny.
And then Danny, of course, called out Tyler wanting to leave the game to see Angela, and he was...
No, I'm surprised that production, if it wasn't live, production would have shut that shit down.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't let the real viewers know that. So for people that have never seen live feeds, have never watched... YouTube updates, been on BB22,
that must have been a shock.
That was a huge shock, and it was something production purposely left out, so AKA they didn't want that known, and now it's known.
Painted their own narrative on how Tyler wanted to...
And Danny recorrected that shit, and people are either going to think she's delusional and lying...
No.
Or they just changed the whole narrative of that.
So, Danny called that out and said, basically, Tyler, if you wanted to go home, why didn't you just stay home? You played this before. It's an all-star season. You should have come here to play, not just
played it to the end. Like, you know what it's like to be in that house how many freaking days?
Yeah. And also, coming from someone who has played twice before, has a husband, has a kid.
A young child that she missed a birthday for, and you're going to cry about some girlfriend you've had for, like, 2 years?
And your jewelry business, like, get over yourself, Tyler.
No one wants your trinkets. They're overpriced and they're tacky.
The fact that... Who was Tyler nominated against during his... It was Kevin. Ian, right? Ian gave, like, such a heartfelt plea for his eviction, and then Tyler gets up there like,
he's like, oh,
Angela!
guys.
He's like, Angela, I missed you. Make sure you guys buy Tangela jewelry. Like, We get it. You are struggling. You're clearly struggling.
Like that $50,000 went quick. He bought that house. He bought her that like Range Rover or whatever she has.
And this little jewelry setup, and now they think
the profits ain't coming in, boo. I don't know. Something ain't right, because he be plugging it like hardcore, like it's an infomercial.
Yeah. So
this is Big Brother.
This whole night was
like Kaser said, to sell their trinkets.
This whole night was just ridiculous.
It was honestly so on brand for 2020, so on brand for All Stars, but just like so disappointing. It's expected,
but it's still disappointing.
Well, it's just like they're not gonna F this up. They're not gonna like give us something good again and then mess it up again.
See, let's go down the road of, we're gonna get All Stars. That's great. Oh, well, then the cast comes out, and then all the fan favorites go home super soon, and then a major alliance from pregame formations is running the house, and then we have a triple eviction. They found out about it, so no surprise. Everyone that we expected just went home.
The same competitions were used. That's basically giving people advantages. Like, the whole thing was just...
There was nothing exciting about this at all.
It was like... I mean, it's just like... personally, I love chocolate. And it's like taking chocolate and putting something I dislike on it, like peanut butter, and going, man, how can you ruin chocolate?
Yeah.
Like, I love chocolate. Everyone loves chocolate. Like, that's what they did. They were like, hey, guys, come here. Look what I got for you.
It actually has a pile of poop on it, and it's not good.
Like, what?
And Dr. Will said something about, why do you guys watch if you don't like it? And it's because we like the game, we like the players.
I like how it used to be, and I'm just hopeful. I'm a hopeless romantic, so I'm a hopeless thing for stuff that I care about
there
and like,
been
and I just
good
want
seasons.
It.
Season 20, I think, has been the best, most recent season since probably 17 was, like, decent. And then before that 17. Was just, like, 16 was just, like, a camp. Like, they were all, like, happy-go-lucky.
That's how we got Franzi in this world.
And
16
Cody.
Can burn to the ground. Franzi's worse.
But Cody, too.
I'd rather take Cody over Franzel. I'm not kidding. Easily, and I dislike both of them heavily.
So, going into this next week, which is week 9, because this is part of week 8, Tyler can't play in HOH, and Cody was already in the veto. Cody was going hard.
He was gunning. He really thought that he was going to get backdoored because
or he wanted to save Nicole.
Yeah, which she was safe anyway, so I'm thinking now maybe not.
He might have thought he was going to be backdoored.
I think that he thought Tyler's got to be thinking what I'm thinking, and one of us got to take out each other. I'm not sitting next to this guy. Whatever, We're both really good, and he felt like since I'm thinking that, he's got to be thinking that it's a triple eviction. He's knocking me out if he can, like whatever.
But now that it's 6,
I feel like
everyone is going to be able to compete in veto no matter what. So Tyler will still have a chance to stay.
Veto they're going to redo like 50 times, so people are cheating again.
Yeah,
you know what? That's funny because the first HOH competition was cheating by the things moving. So it's like, ooh, was that a premonition for the rest of our season? Like, should we not be surprised at this like bootleg BBBS? Like, I don't know. It's just comical. It is. It's literally there's not. I mean,
I personally
you can't shock me anymore.
For this next HOH, I would really like Enzo to win, and I would like him to plant a line in the grass and say, I am sticking with Cody and I'm sticking with Memphis, and go after Tyler, Christmas, and Nicole. And
I think Christmas and Nicole could equally go at either moment.
Yeah.
And they both need to go. I'm not sure either will
At this point,
happen,
Christmas is playing a better physical game, and then Nicole, because like it's worked out,
are stupid. It's a better.
Is playing a better social manipulation game, but like she's not even like I don't even think she's trying to do it on purpose. Like it's just like it's working out for her.
It's just that everyone else is really that dumb.
Like I'm honestly like I'm upset with Nicole, but I'm more upset with everyone else for falling for it.
It's not even believable. I'm sorry.
She's just not a good liar.
She's not.
She's not good under pressure. She even admitted that in her final 2 speech of like season 18. She was like, "You guys knew my whole game, and you guys still kept me here." And honestly, yeah. Why didn't you get rid of her?
I don't get it.
So I'm not rooting for her to win, but if she makes it to the finals...
I don't know what family members she has in production, but kudos.
Maybe her and Tyler are related to Grodner.
They're both blonde, blue-eyed.
Yeah.
Whites.
Grodner.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really think that, but something is...
It's just... It's just funny because it's just too accurate.
And the edits and the... Yeah, it's just... It's crazy out here with these people.
At this point, we are rooting for Enzo.
I'm 100% Enzo.
And if Enzo
he's not my favorite of this season, but...
His social game has been the best out of everyone else.
And
no one's talked about putting up Enzo at all.
He's also stayed very true to himself. This is exactly how he played the last time. He likes to align with dudes. He makes an alliance early. He sticks to it. He's really social with everybody else. And he also hasn't really been involved in the
dramas
or anything that's
and he's actually been able to
stuff.
He's been able to play the same game he did last time while also winning competitions and still not getting a target.
How do you do that? Because that was part of
his thing was throwing competitions, or that he just didn't win. Yeah. He's already won 3 competitions. Yeah. He won two vetoes and an HOH, and he won the safety suite. Or no, yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah, because Davon wanted it and he gave it to Christmas. Bet you regret that now, buddy.
So, at this point, Enzo looks like he's in the best position. What I was trying to mention before is that before this night, let's see, Memphis, Cody, Danielle, Nicole were all never nominated, which was 4 out of 8, which was half.
Yeah, which
and now
also
with 6,
there's that, but then there's also the fact that I've never seen a season where the power didn't flip one HOH. It didn't flip one time.
It's just been a stack of
It's been like watching something that's predetermined almost.
It's like watching a game of basketball where there's 2 people against 9 and you're you're rooting for the 2, obviously, but clearly the 9 is going to win because they have the numbers. And the fact that the people on the 2 team are getting convinced oh no, we're trying to help you. We're trying to help you.
How do they fall for that? I don't know. It's crazy.
So at this point, I hope Cody goes. I hope Memphis goes. I hope Christmas goes. I hope Nicole goes, and I hope Tyler goes. And Enzo's just there in the finals. He can give an awesome speech. He can
bro yo it out.
If he wins, I want him to win the final HOH because that's what messed him up in 12 and made him lose. Because he would have absolutely taken lane and would have won almost a 7-0.
Yep, 100%.
And now I really hope that he can do it this time. And he hasn't made any enemies. Cody's made enemies with Danny now, and Danny's gonna
He hasn't made enemies. He hasn't made enemies with the outside world. He has young
Nicole.
kids.
Nicole has no chance. Playing. Christmas has no chance. He
deserves it more out of what's left.
Honestly, at this point, Enzo, Memphis, and Tyler. Even Tyler is a little wishy-washy. Memphis and Enzo at this point have the most people that aren't upset with them.
Yeah.
Because even David isn't really that upset with Memphis. Because Memphis
David's
is straight
still
up
confused.
Everyone else is just lying and whatever. Memphis is being straight up, and Enzo is
Memphis
fake
is just
being straight up.
Is what it is.
Enzo's good at manipulating and playing people, but not making it seem like he is.
Yeah.
And it's just that's just how it has to be. You know what I'm saying? They gotta go. I mean, that's it.
That's what it is, bruh.
But I will say tonight he looked really sad voting out both David and Danny.
I think if it was up to him, it definitely would have been.
He would have kept David and he would have kept Danny.
Yeah, but he just couldn't
to
go
get
against
Nicole
everybody
out.
else and whatever. And I guess whatever.
I mean, even if he didn't want Danny out, he definitely wanted to keep David. But I feel like Cody wasn't going to get rid of Nicole, and he didn't want to, vote incorrectly with his alliance.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how this night went. It was eventful, but not in the good way.
But so disappointing, and it was eventful in other life circumstances that add to it. So it was very interesting. We'll see.
I'm honestly excited to see who wins HOH.
Can we skip to the end?
Yeah.
I just want to see the final.
We only have 3 more evictions until final 3 when it's going to be the finale. So.
And my thing is I think that they put this triple eviction in because it's a boring season. It's disappointing. Let's do that. But then I think they also did it because everyone's like, this sucks, and they're like, let's just get these people off TV and bring in a new cast and move on. So they're like, quickly, you know, and I'm like, hey, either way, you still messed up, but thank you for getting us closer to the end, because God, it's I'm over it.
So this was there was a lot of feelings in this episode. We are very passionate about this, especially after tonight. So we are going to be coming back with another episode on Sunday after HOH. We might be filming earlier if we find out HOH nominations.
Spoiler. We'll see.
And we will see. So we will see you next week for week 9, I believe, because this is end of week 8.
Yes.
So week 9. And we will see you then.
Yeah. So, you know, in the meantime, like, comment, share, subscribe.